Hey guys, it's Brett with Team KYGO, and we're here again with our very own Wesley Rhody. He got top 8 at the Indianapolis Regional, and today we got deck profile for you. What deck were you playing?
I played Zefra again. It's only a couple cards different from the last list. I just wanted to show it because my boy Astrograph Sorcerer, I feel like, oh, thank you for the ketchup cookie. I feel like I owe it to him because he got me 2 tops in a row.
Okay. Now, one quick question. Do you think this deck's going to be relevant still, even after the list that became effective today?
I think it's still good. I was still able to put like 3 to 4 negates up turn 1. Not as consistently. You can usually do 2 to 3 every time, but the 4 usually doesn't come up. But I still think it's really good. I'll show you what I would take out and in the format.
Sounds good. All right, let's get to the profile.
3 Zefra, 3 Zefra Nui. This time I had the pink dolphin. It was really good. Like the tuner and this got a lot better because Goki's out, so making the Chow Fangs where they can't use earth effects is actually a lot more relevant. And with the Nightmare Stuff Spirals came out more, so that this comes up a lot more. And then I undervalued this last region. I'm really glad I have it. It came in super clutch. Player on Master Roll 4. And then the man himself. I hate to see him go, but he has to. He's too good. Still playing all these because they're extenders and starter cards, and they literally just do everything. Mythical Beast guys again. And what makes them better, I think they're better in this deck than Magician because you can literally always have this at your low scale. And there's some combos with Meteor Burst Dragon that I did a lot, where this would be my low scale, then I would have an Astrograph, then Meteor Burst, and then bring this out, and then overlay with the Astrograph to make the Vortex. So you have multiple negates, with pretty much just a couple of cards. Dragons, it's 1 Destrudo Steel, 1 Dark Worm, and 1 Ring. I really want to play more Dark Worms, but there's my deck's already 46 cards, so I felt like I
46 is the new 40.
46 is the new 43, and 43 is the new 40. So basically, you just had to play these last format. Now you still probably have to play it. New format.
Like you take out Ghost
Ogres are gonna be Drolls. Ogres are gonna be Drolls, and then pretty much the Astrograph engine becomes a Magical Abductor. The 4 field spells still, and 3 terraforming. 3 of this. I know 46 sounds really bad, but honestly, you have 12 Zefraths, and that means like, what's the math? Around like 26% of your deck's is Zefrath, so 1 in every 4 cards is a Zefrath. And as weird as it sounds, having more cards prevented me from, I didn't draw the bad targets for Astro and Chrono nearly as much, or Clump Hand Traps as much. So, and then 3 of these to get to your dragons, and just 2 traps still. I don't think you need the other Zefra trap or extra copies of those because they're just bricks. As I said, my 46 card deck.
Alright, extra deck?
3 Electromites. This time around I never actually needed 3. Actually, I think I made 3 once, but it didn't matter. Surprisingly enough, I never opened Chrono plus Astro at this event. So I actually never made like the full nut board. This, you have to play it for when your hand's awkward and you have to make a really weird Vortex play. These actually never made these very much because I guess I just wasn't drawing the sauce today. But this card instead of Firewall, because the idea was you could reset these counter traps and then also have like a skill drain on board on top of that, but that actually never came up. The idea was like, if I clump a trap, I can pitch it for Ravine and then reset it. Okay. That never actually happened. But it being Firewall wouldn't have mattered. I never needed a Link 4. Black Crows, Odd Eyes, Yazi, Chow Fang. The only thing I would change in an extra deck was, I forgot FA Dragster came out. And that card's really good when your hand's weak and you can't normally put as much negates, but it never like cost me a game. This, because I literally can't get over a boar load, is actually impossible. Naruto, Vortex, or Absolute and Vortex. I actually tribute summoned for, what was it, Jackal over this to get that, which was pretty cool. And the side deck.
And the side deck.
3 Droll. I thought like having 9 hand traps going second is actually really important with how Spirals and Goki are now. Played against a couple of those. 2 Kaijus for Masterpiece, but he's gone now, so you probably don't even need that anymore. I bumped it up to 3 Call by the Grave, which I'm glad I did. I hit a bunch of Drolls and Ashes that would destroy me. Only 2 Twin and 3 Evenly. because the way like my ins and outs worked for the side deck, you only really had enough room for 5 cards against the stun decks, and then I thought this was way better than that. And then just 2 barrier, because the way like this ratio, the ins and outs for how it worked out, I could only had room for like 5 extra cards going first, and I'd much rather have this to stop a hand trap than kind of like a more blowout card. Because if you're going, like if you're resolving your combo and stopping the hand trap with this, you're gonna win anyway. This is just the icing on the cake.
All right, sounds good. I heard you had an awesome board against the Jesse
Oh,
Cotton.
no, I'm not. No, I misplayed horribly. My board should have been way better. I should have had like 2 extra things, but I got really lucky.
Okay. Any shout outs or anything you'd like to give?
Shout out for Clifton and Chester for me writing their deck list and then scrubbing out.
Scrub.
I got 12. Kind of script.
All right,
Good script.
let's end it.
All right.